Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew a perfect V-neck lace edge and Selvedge neck. If you have ever struggled to get a neat and a professional neckline on your blouse or your dress, this tutorial is definitely for you. I will be breaking it down step by step from marking your neckline to attaching the lace neatly. So stay tuned and let's get started. This is me. I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into two because I don't want it to have any joining. So I folded it that way. And this is the next thing is for me to add to mark the shoulder to shoulder measurement, half of the shoulder measurement while it's on fold. And then after doing that, I want to determine get the waistline, the hip line, and that is what you see me do. You want to measure on yourself from your shoulder to your waistline and to your hip line. And then I went ahead to put in the neckline, going by 4 inches for the width, and then for the depth, I used like 9.5 there, and you can use any inches of you desire. And this particular person wants her neckline to be wide, yeah, because she's a big size person, and that's why you see me do that. And the next thing is for me to the shoulder slant. I make use of 1 inch, and that is what you see me do there. The next thing you want to do is to determine your chest line, which will be the line where you'll be imputing 1/4 of your bust measurement. So for the client, our round arm is 23. So I went ahead to use 11.5. There's another method you can use to determine that, which is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Yes. So I've gone ahead to mark that particular place, which is the chest line. So from the shoulder slant, I just marked down 11.5. Then I will impute 1/4 of the client's or your bust measurements. Then adding your sewing allowance because this is directly on the fabric. Yes. So I'll bring down the shoulder to shoulder, half of it down to the chest line that way. Then you want to either get the midpoint and go in by 0.5. But what I did there was to go up from the chest line by 4 inches, then went in by 0.5 just to get my hammer, just as you see me do there. Then go ahead and connect it to the 1/4 of the bust measurement marking. Then that way, but don't forget, by the time you be cutting that part, you need to add your sewing allowance to the armhole side. So the next thing, go on the waistline, impute 1/4 of the waist measurement plus your sewing allowance, and that is it. Connect it that way. And then this is more like an A-line dress. Yes. And because of the measurement of the person, it's kind of going to take the whole of the weight of the fabric. So just follow me the way I tell I went about to cut it. On the hip line, you want to put in your 1/4 of the hip measurement, then the sewing allowance, go ahead and connect it that way. And then I'll be taking this all the way down. What I have there and what I did there was I didn't just mark it straight down. I gave it a little bit of a flare down there. Just mark it down, and yeah, you shape it out on the down bits just as you see me do here. So I'll just go ahead all to the hem of the dress that way, all to the hem of the dress, and that's the way I went about marking it. Yeah, she really want it free down there so that she'll be able to walk around. So after doing that, I've gone ahead to cut it out and just follow that. On the armhole side, don't forget to add your sewing allowance. Yeah, you can as well mark it before cutting it out. 0.5, I did that here actually. So yeah, that's part of what I have there. And on the shoulder slant as well, you go ahead and do that. Trim off the 1 inch with which you came down with or by. And then the initial neckline is what I've marked before. But for the lacing, don't forget, for the lacing, no, we need to cut out that part, which is 1.5 is what I used. Then I'll be replacing it with the lace edge. Yeah, so 1.5 that way. Then go ahead and connect it. Yeah, making it V on that part. I actually use my curve ruler, and that is what you see me do there. Yes, and that's it, guys. I'm going to be cutting that part out later on in the video. And what I want to do is just to cut out that part, the initial one, which is going using 4 by 9.5 for this particular person. So using this, you're going to be placing it on another folded fabric as well to cut out the back. And the only difference there is because on the back, center back, I'll be adding my zip allowance because it's going to have a zip part at the back. And I went ahead to just mark this part. Yes, you can as well, if you like, you don't cut out the neckline before doing this part. So this is what I've done, and I came down by 1 inch for the back, at the back for the depth, and then for the same 4 inches for the width. Then another thing I did was at the waistline at the back, I went in by 0.5. Sometimes I use 0.7. You know, there's a kind of a shape we have at the back, center back at our back. So you just want to do that in order to eliminate any back bulge, you know, folding at the back. If you do that, it will help to make your dress, your outfit to relax at the back. So that's what I did from somewhere around the neckline to the waistline. I went in by 0.5 and connecting it to the hip line. So that's the way to go about it. Yes, I have a video of that on my channel using a pattern drafting on how you can eliminate your waist bulge or folding at the back. So that is what I've gone ahead to do. Then cut it out. The next thing we want to do here is to cut out the lace replacement, the particular part we'll be replacing with the lace edge. And I'll go ahead now and cut that part out. Yes. And here we're going to be replacing it, like I said initially. You want to go ahead and grab another a piece of your fabric that has the lace edge, and then because I did cut out 1.5, yeah, because actually you want to measure, firstly you want to measure to be able to show that you have enough length where you cut, where you're cutting for the lace edge or the replacement is long enough to go around the neckline. So because another thing is I did cut out 1.5 for the replacement, I'm going to be cutting out 2.5. Yes, because of the sewing allowances, you need to add 1 inch sewing allowance back. This is not a pattern drafting that you will need to add it after drafting. So that is it. I'm going ahead to cut that part out. Next thing you want to do, which is very important, notch the midpoint, and then you're going to be holding a dart on that part. A dart to the left, to the wrong side of the fabric. I did make use of 1.5, yes, to give it that V-neck. And if there are some lace edge that are not always equal, if after joining it you discover that it's not laying properly, you can still hold a, a bit of that. Yes, you can do that. Probably in another video I'll be showing you that. But with this technique that I used here, because the lace edge actually rhymed and it's equal, just going in by 1.5, you can as well use 2 inches there. Will make your lace edge to relax nicely, and that is what I've done there. And the next thing will be to attach it to the neckline. Yes, where we did hold the dart, you want to attach to the midpoint of the neckline. Ensure to use your pin. It's very important. Yes, pin it down that way you see me do. Then align it, make sure it aligns like that. Lay it nicely towards the neckline and start your sewing from there. You sew all the way to the midpoint and back to the other side. And yeah, So that's what you see me do. I'm sewing on 0.5. Whatever inches you had as your allowance is what you need to use. If not, there's going to be shortage. So guys, I've gone ahead to do that and turning it and sewing it on that part. And at the midpoint, you want to, once you get to the midpoint, you want to make sure that you notch that part just to make it easy to sew the other side. So that is it, guys. You can as well top stitch after sewing, but I don't think I actually did in this video. All I is to go ahead and overlock the, yeah, the edges there, the joining, and that is it, guys. That is how I went about um cutting and sewing this particular one. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more easy sewing tutorials. See you in the next video, and keep